And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monday call. We do this every other Monday at 4 p.m. PST, where we answer your questions. I know a lot of you guys you're curious, or like, what is Men of Action about? I really don't understand. And we are live. And so we decided to do these calls every Monday so that we can make sure that you guys were able to keep up and ask any questions. You guys get me for 3 hours every other Monday, ask all the questions you want. And all the other guys from MOA, they'll jump on these calls too, and we'll have a great time, man. So I'm really excited to have everybody on here. Really interesting stuff. The guy from the Hot Ones who was dating the porn star. Did you guys see that story? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Like, would you date a girl who works in the adult film industry? Would you be willing to do that? We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. We're going to be talking about your business. I got 3 hacks. Remind me, guys, before the end of the first 30 minutes, I got 3 hacks that are like that. And when I say billionaires have recommended this to me, like several people that I know that recommended this to me. So I'm gonna Joe Martin says, I'll date Johnny Sins. Hilarious. Yeah, man. So we'll definitely go over all those different concepts if that's what you guys want to talk about. A bunch of stuff going on. So first thing I need you guys to do, if you've never been in one of these calls before, you have to go down to the bottom right there in Zoom, and you're going to see the button that says reaction. In the reaction button, when you click the reaction button, it'll give you the opportunity to raise your hand. So you legitimately have to raise your hand. You don't have to come on camera, but for the most part, I'm going to want you to come on camera, especially if I don't recognize you, just because we get a lot of trolls on here. We'll start screaming out crazy stuff about, the N word or the F word, or start saying stuff about, Germany back in 1939. Those people, like, I don't want those words on my YouTube. So that's why we stay away from those people. So if you guys have any questions, I need you to go down to the reaction part down there at the bottom and make sure that you are doing it. Rollo just hit me up. He was like surprised because, like I said before, Pearl Davis is about to go on Fresh and Fit. I didn't know if that was ever going to happen. That's pretty interesting to me. I'm interested to see how that works out. A couple of things that are going on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw before. So it was my man. It was the guy Sean Evans, who is the host of the Hot Ones. He ended up dating this adult model, this adult film star, and when he did so, they announced it like the day before the Super Bowl. And that day that they posted the picture on Twitter, Adam22, he retweeted the post with a quote. It said, "Hey, congratulations, that pussy is fire." Right? Basically calling it. I want you guys to consider the situation, right? You're in a situation where you started dating a girl and you post on your IG that you and her like together. And then some dude posts that, "Hey man, congratulations, bro. I feel nothing but great for you. She gives the best blowjobs ever." How would you feel? So, USA Today writes an article basically saying how it was bad to shame them, and like we're very cruel for doing things like that. And then finally, he breaks up with her. Sean Evans breaks up with the adult actress the next day, like one day later after they go public, because he didn't realize all the ridicule that he was going to get. And I have a different take on this. I don't think that's the case. I think you can do adult films, and then still we can know that you do adult films, and you can admit to it, and someone can also be embarrassed by dating. Like, as long as you know, then you can't really you can't be embarrassed after the fact. But if you didn't know, like if any of you guys are dating a girl and you found out that she was doing porn, like while you guys were dating her, you all understand you have the right to break up with her. Does anyone here question that? Because I want to let you know that like society right now thinks that what I just said is a bit offensive. Like, you shouldn't judge a woman for her past, right? If a woman does pornography, and like I'm sitting here as a performance coach, sitting there talking to you guys, and my girl does porn, so you guys can go watch her do porn, that could hurt my business. It would make sense for me to not want to be in a serious relationship with somebody like that. Fucking around, whatever. I mean, we all had fun. That's a completely different situation. And you guys know I have female friends that are porn stars, and I love them as friends. They're great people, but like, I don't think it's odd for this guy to want to break up with a girl because another dude called her out like that. And then the other part that was crazy is right after he said her pussy's fire, right underneath it, he had a picture of him about to have sex with her. So like he brought the fucking receipts along with it. If you guys want to go check it out, bro, it was fucking bad. So we can talk about that. What is your limit? Everyone has a different limit. Like for me, I'll tell you, my limits have been different during different times. Would I have dated a Playboy playmate who's been topless in Playboy? Yeah, I probably would. In fact, I don't know that I wouldn't not do that now. Like I'm not like, I'm not like fucking Myron and them. Like I don't like, they have a very strict thing. They want their girl to dress super conservatively all the time. I don't care about that. So we all have different lines. Where would you go? For me, like, would you guys go girl porn? Would that be too far for you? For me, that'd probably be a little too far. That'd be a little too far. Topless, as long as it was tasteful, maybe, but probably that's about the edge. That's about as far as I would go. But I wouldn't do anything other than that. Um, yeah, maybe. Okay, topless. There you go. Mesh. Ice White said mesh. It's interesting. Okay, cool. Now, in general, like if she's just really fine and she did that, that's fine. But also the other consideration you have to make is if you're with a girl who poses topless, is she doing it because she needs attention? And are you capable of having a healthy relationship with a girl who needs that much attention? That's another question that you have to ask yourself, like legitimately ask yourself. So those are all things that we're going to cover. So again, would you do that? Would you not? Also, we can discuss this because I think that's part of the reason why Pearl Davis is going on Fresh and Fit is because this concept of the trad cons versus the red pills, right? Red pill is basically, hey, you know, the debate, the main thing that they debate on is people in red pill are like, hey, marriage is a bad deal for men. Okay, you see Myron, he'll say, what is something that a man could get in a marriage that he could get just not being in a marriage? He's like, he can still have kids. Also, what could he get? And Nelly, who came on our show, she couldn't answer that. She didn't have a really good answer for it. So that's one thing is trad cons, like, is marriage a good thing? Whereas the trad cons sort of, and you can tell how I feel about this, trad cons sort of blindly feel like traditional marriage in the Bible, therefore in the Bible, therefore good. Only everything in the Bible is good, always in the Bible. Yes, do the thing in the Bible. And you're like, well, here's some percentages. And they're like, I don't care about the percentages. What's in the Bible is good, wise, do that thing. And meanwhile, red pillar people are like, hey, I don't want to lose half my money. So we can talk about that in this conversation as well. And then like I said, I have the 3 hacks in order to help you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these first 5 questions and then we can switch the subject up to a bunch of different things. So let's go to Pablo. Let me see. Pablo, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Here.
Pablo, what's going on, man? What's your question?
How much do they make per scene? I mean, talking like what you said in terms of attention. I think there must be a lot of damaged girls that go into that type of stuff. So I'm like trying to understand the benefits for her, you know?
For
Is it
her?
worth it? That's my question.
No,
You
of
know?
course it's not worth it. Okay, Pablo,
Right.
this is a great question. So we're not going to just make this about men and women. We're going to talk about 2 different types of people. There's
Okay.
people who can delay gratification and people who cannot delay gratification. Okay, we'll just talk about these 2 different types of people. The type of people who can delay gratification, they're the ones who can see things in a logical manner and then delay. So for instance, delay gratification. There's donuts there, but I'm trying to lose weight, so I don't go eat the donuts. People who can delay gratification, there's a great book about this called The Marshmallow Test by Dr. Michel. If you read the book, you'll find that the children who actually were able to delay gratification had better jobs, longer marriages, made more money, were healthier. The ability to delay gratification, however, is based solely in logic. Let me say it one more time. The ability to delay gratification is based solely in logic. The ability, now, if you don't have the logic and you're based solely in feelings, are you going to delay gratification or do you want instant gratification? What do you think, Pablo?
Instant, of course.
So you're a pretty girl who's never been validated before, maybe not by her parents or her boyfriend or whatever. Pornography is a way for you to get validation instantly. Does that make sense? You're asking what's in it for them. You're looking at it logically. And they weren't looking at it logically. By the way, really sad. Cagney Lynn Carter took her life yesterday. I don't know if you guys, she's 36 years old. She took her life. She lives in Ohio. I'm not going to lie to you. Her heyday was when I was in the military, so I may have seen her once or twice. I actually did meet her once at a nightclub here in Vegas. But yeah, I mean, you see that happen. You also saw that happen with August Ames, where these girls will go and take their lives later on down the road because of what happened. Now, the real question is, Pablo, was it mental illness that led to an impulsive behavior, which got them into porn, which then led them to taking their own lives? Or was it a lack of validation that got them into adult films, which then caused them to feel so bad about themselves that they took their own lives? Which is it? That we don't know. I mean, it's really tough to say. I'm going to guess, because of the way mental illness works, that there probably was some mental illness. I'm not saying all girls who do adult work are mentally ill. I know a few that definitely aren't. For instance, Phoenix Marie. If somebody told me Phoenix Marie took her own life, I'd be like, yeah, somebody set her up. I don't think Phoenix is going to kill herself. Like, there's some girls I know that do this, and I would be very shocked. Like, if somebody told me, like Amanda Nicole, if somebody told me Amanda Nicole took her own life, I'd be like, this is some Epstein shit right here. I don't believe that. But some of the girls have a problem. and they're not able to keep up. So, this is just a different thing that you have to understand. So the real answer is this, Pablo. Did she get the mental illness before she started doing adult work, or did she get it because of the adult work? And the answer is it doesn't fucking
Of
matter.
course. Yeah.
You don't need to fuck with it. Do not put your penis in crazy. It doesn't make any difference what's going on. You guys, I would really recommend you guys read the Book of Numbers. It's one of the required reading books that we have in the Men of Action program, and it's Aaron Clary, and he's an economist, and he goes over like the economics of dating. One of the things he talks about is like mental illness. Well, one of the ways he judges mental illness is from CDC numbers, but he also judges mental illness from women with 4 or more tattoos. He says multiple piercings and 4 more tattoos are a sign of mental illness. Now, I'm not going to go that far, but it's really interesting. That's the way he correlates it. So that's something that you have to look at. Now, excessive numbers of piercing and tattoos. Do the statistics show us that those women tend to be more promiscuous? Yes. The statistics do show us that. So again, what we're talking about right here is very uncomfortable. That's the reason why a lot of people don't like to have me on their podcast. A lot of people don't like to talk to me because I say these things, but I don't say it like, trust me, bro. I say it from the manner of, this is what the stats tell us, and they tell us some ugly things. Like, for instance, if a woman, has a lot of sexual partners before she gets married, she's probably less likely to be a good candidate for long-term certainty. And then there's numbers to show that. There's 2 studies that have come out, one of them recently, that show pretty indefatigably that women who cheated in a relationship have 230% more sexual partners than women who don't. So that's a pretty high correlation. All right, cool.
Good.
That's your question? It's short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. That's it. And by the way, when you want to get into like billionaire status, billionaire status, or whatever, or if you just want to have an incredible life full of freedom, it's long-term thinking versus short-term thinking. It's the ability to delay gratification versus the necessity for instant gratification. Got it? And you guys can look at the marshmallow. You guys could probably just watch some videos on it. You maybe don't need to read the whole book, but look up the marshmallow test. It's a really great scientific exploration of this concept of delayed gratification. Really, really powerful. Did I answer your question? All right. I think he muted himself. Let's go to Thomas. Thomas Philbrick. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thomas, what's happening?
Just hanging out doing some coursework.
Thomas, did you coursework for MOA?
No, not with you guys. Just hopped on to see you guys for a little bit.
What's your question, Thomas?
Oh no, I didn't have a question, right?
Okay.
Let me think.
Well, Thomas, we're happy to have you come on here. But yeah, just if you have a question, go ahead and go down to the reaction thing down at the bottom and raise your hand, and we'll answer whatever it is that you want. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it. My bad, brother.
Sounds good. Ace Hovenstein, what's your question? Hovazian. Ace Hovazian.
Yeah. Hey, Michael.
Ace, what's going on, Ace?
I actually want to mention I took your advice, and I'm definitely putting all my focus into how you said a focus on relationships as well, not just business and just money, like the grind mindset.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask, I'm actually getting ready to take more pictures for Instagram. I have as of recently, but I remember last time you hosted, I don't know if you hosted or you were partaking or co-hosting the Babes in Toyland event.
Yeah, I'll be. So we're not going to have the one for the animal rescue has been postponed. That was the one that's supposed to be on the 8th. However, on the 9th is going to be a Grammys party that I'm hosting with Teatro LA in Los Angeles. So we won't be doing the next Babes in Toyland. I think it might be halfway to Halloween, and then after that, we're doing an animal rescue one in Miami.
Sure thing. Is there any way I can help the event or contribute some sort of way while also getting content and stuff?
So you can't bring a camera in like an SLR. You can buy a ticket and just bring your iPhone. That's what I would recommend you do.
Okay. Any more events I should look out for, and also where I could find the scheduling?
I would look at, we usually put the event schedule up on Men of Action in the school server. Are you in the school server?
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually put, when there's stuff coming up on there, we'll put it in the free school server, and you guys can just go in there and you can join us for whatever. And by the way, for those of you who don't know about the free school server, just go right here to, actually, no, that's the wrong link. Try this again one more time. If you guys look in the chat right there, you'll see Men of Action free. No, that's wrong. Let me try it again. There you go. You see Men of Action. And then for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you guys can also see it right there. I just posted it. Awesome. Yeah. If you're in there, I should put all of the links in there.
Okay.
Events, okay.
I'll
give you a quick rundown, Ace. We do 5 Babes in Toyland events a year. We do probably 5 teatro events a year. And then there's the bikini competition, which is once a month in Las Vegas. And that's the $100,000 bikini competition. That's at Wet Republic, like the last Friday of every month, I think is when we do it. So that's how we do our schedule. And then we have Paradise Challenge, and then we have Swimsuit USA in that's going to be in September and November.
Okay, sure thing. Those are only question. Also,
I love it, man.
Did I have one quick one? I just saw Tristan mention something about a boot camp. I forgot to ask that the last time as well.
Yeah, of course. So the boot camp, the way the boot camps work is we do immersion starting in March for 8 months out of the year. And we don't do November, December, January, February. So we'll go March to October. And, you know, it's really, in October is the last immersion that we do. And that one's for my birthday. So you would just come for a week. You can do a half immersion or a full immersion. The way it works is the first half of the week and the second half of the week. First half of the week, there's a lot of photos, pictures taken, whatever. And you have to go to, so it's like, we teach you the social circle stuff. So you go out on Monday to get girls to come out on Tuesday, go out on Tuesday to get girls to come out on Wednesday. We just teach you kind of like in a microcosm how to get comps set up. But it's a huge skill set to help you with a bunch of other things. And for those of you who are confused by it, because a lot of people have a problem with this, it is a cold approach seminar. So we do teach you cold approach. We just don't teach you intent-based pickup. Okay. We believe in, you know, like they say in football, you're stopping the run on the way to the quarterback. Well, in MOA, the way we say it is, you're doing cold approach to build a social circle. Cold approach to build a social circle. It's not cold approach or social circle. It's cold approach to build a social circle. And that's what we teach you. Make sense?
Okay. And all this is on the school server, yeah?
Huh? Oh, you're talking about, okay. Oh, so also there's a boot camp. The boot camps are in Miami and Los Angeles. You need to look those up. Those are separate from immersion.
Okay.
Okay. The boot camps are different. The boot camps are just for you to get content.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
All right. Awesome. Let's go to Joe. Joe, go ahead and unmute yourself. Joe Ali.
What up, Mike? I ain't really have a question this time, but I would say I'm traditional, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't go with that, but that's just my opinion. I can't.
Oh, you're talking about okay. So what? That's an interesting question, Joe. What's the line? So let's say your girl posts pictures in just dresses but no bikinis on Instagram, but she gets a lot of attention for it. Would that be a lot? Would that be too far?
I would say I would say.
Did we lose Joe? I think we lost Joe. Okay, cool. All right, we'll keep going. Let's go to Cade. Cade, what's your question?
Hey, my question was, I'm talking to a girl over IG right now, and I was wondering what choosing signals I can look for other than just compliance and like showing up. And I know that I heard you talking about compliance is from the belly button up, and attention is from the waist down. Or no, sorry, I got confused.
Compliance is from the belly button down. Yeah. So here's the thing, Cade. The answer is it doesn't matter. It's like Schrodinger's cat. The cat is both alive and dead at the same time until you open the box and look at it. The trick is to not sit there and waste time trying to figure out what sign means what. I have seen women do everything you can imagine. Grab guys' dicks, say, I want to come home and fuck you, say all kinds of stuff, and then not go home with the guy. And I've seen women give no signs whatsoever that that they have any intention of going home with the guy. And at the end of the night, they go home with the guy. The truth is, you cannot tell on the outside what's going on the inside. The whole idea of like reading body language has been debunked. We know that this is not actually true. What you do is you pay attention to people's actions. So, Kate, what you do is you receive all the stimulus from all these different women, but you do like several of them, and you don't care whether or not they like you. You just go forward, and then you ask for compliance, and then you'll find out this one gives me compliance, this one gives me compliance, this one gives me compliance. Then you get to a point where you get so much compliance from so many women that the ones who were going to bullshit with you know that they can't. Does that make sense? Like Bilzerian would say to me sometimes, he goes, he would straight up tell the girls in the beginning, he's like, if you intend for me to wait for sex, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to let you know. I'm just going to go talk to someone else. And so because of that, the girls understand his scarcity. And so immediately hook up with him. And so that's kind of the situation here. It's like you need a lot of variety or a lot of abundance. And in that abundance, you don't care whether or not her signs are go signs or not go signs. The only thing you care about is, did she comply? Remember? A girl sending you nudes is attention. A girl coming over and cooking for you is compliance. Attention is above the belly button. Compliance is below the belly button. Did she get up and move for you? That means that's compliance. Okay.
I had two other questions.
Go ahead.
One, this is a quick one. How often do you get your hair cut?
Whenever I have an event coming up, so on the right before the night. There's no set. Some I'm doing 2 and 4 weeks.
Okay. The other question was, did you see Alex Hormozy's video on what I would do if I was single during Valentine's Day?
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
He posted a new video recently, and it was on Valentine's Day, and it was talking about like dating and stuff like that. So I think that would make good reaction content.
Okay. You know what? Kate, will you do me a favor? Will you send me that on IG, and I'll send it to Dylan Proudman, and he'll put it in my list. He'll put it in my list.
I took notes over it and put it in the free school server.
I love it. Will you guys do me a favor? If any of you guys have videos you want me to react to, I need you to send them to me on IG. Just say straight up, I'd like you to react to this. And then I won't even look at the video. I'll copy and paste it and send it to Dylan. Dylan puts it in a spreadsheet because Dylan has to know what I'm reacting to because they have to sync me looking at the camera with the actual video. So Dylan has to see it first. Dylan is my social media guy. And then when he does that, then the editors can make it up. So what I need you guys to do, because you guys have been sending me some great videos to react to. I'll get the videos, I'll react to the videos. But I've never seen them before. And you send them to me, I send them to the editors, and then I watch the video and I'm just usually laughing. Okay. Find your Layla. Yeah, that's a good one. For Valentine's Day, I'll tell you guys what I did. I took Kylie to the Sphere. That is the coolest motherfucking thing on this fucking planet. The Sphere on the inside is the craziest shit, bro. So it holds, guys, it holds 20,000 people. And you're stacked on top of each other, but because it's a Sphere, because the screen is like over 100 feet tall, it doesn't matter. There's like no bad seats. Objects will come at you in the Sphere and it feels like they're going to hit you. You'll see people like dodging and shit. And the seats, get this, guys, the seats are haptic. You know, guys, when you play a video game and somebody gets hit, your video game, your controller shakes or whatever. When you're playing Call of Duty and you get shot, your controller will shake, or you'll pull the trigger on the machine gun and the controller will shake. Your seat shakes when you're in the Sphere. And this is the crazy part. They have fucking wind machines. When you're walking through the jungle, it blows fucking wind in your face. Bro, it is outrageous how good it is. I hope they make 10 more Spheres. I would like to go there every week if I could. It's a little pricey, but it only sucks because there's only 2 shows at the Sphere right now, U2 and Postcards from Earth. That's what I took Kylie to do on Valentine's Day. And what I'll tell you for almost any date, there's 2 types of dates I would recommend you guys take girls on. One date is with a group activity. It's almost like a group date, where you guys are all going to like San Germano, you're going to the fair together, the San Diego Fair, or whatever. You guys are all going in as a big group. And then maybe by the end of the night, she's like arm in arm with you, or she's holding hands. That's a great way to go on a date because you're not putting too much intent or pressure on her in the beginning. So I like group dates with like activities. And the second type of date that I recommend is a thing you would do even if you weren't with her. A thing you would do even if you weren't with her. So for me, you guys know I love the butter cake at Mastro's. I'll go have the butter cake at Mastro's by myself. So she happens to be with me. Like, have a date that's so fucking cool to you that if she got up and left, you wouldn't care. Have you guys ever gone axe throwing? Imagine going axe throwing. And there's one axe throwing at like Axe Monkey. They have a spear. You can chunk a spear at this wood thing. It is so fucking fun. If I was on a date and I was throwing a spear and my date said, fuck you and I'm leaving, I wouldn't care at all. That's the kind of date you want to go on. Does it make sense? You're asking her to do a fun thing that you were going to do anyway. That's the way I would categorize you guys going on dates. Sound good? So the Sphere is something I wanted to see, and then I took her to Mastro's, and that was great. We had a great time. But just to let you guys know that where did that come from? That came from those are things that I wanted to do anyway. Okay. Beautiful. DJ Rez, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. First question is, are you still able to get on my podcast?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
When is that? Did we schedule something?
No. I'll email you again about it. Okay, cool.
Instagram would be easier for me to just write it down. But yeah, you can email me. And then once we set it up, then just send me an email with like a Google invite so I make sure it's on my thing.
Appreciate it. So my other question is basically social circle stuff. I have been really trying hard to build a social circle here in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm doing the right things, like going to clubs, you know, cold approaching and then friend zoning them, and then just like throwing a party. I did that. I threw a party. Two girls showed up. Nobody. It was just me and the two girls. And then we went out afterwards. And then I found myself in an awkward position. I found
Okay.
myself in a situation where like the girls, there was like other guys approaching them.
Mm.
And I was just kind of left on my own, and I didn't know really what to do. I know I could have approached other girls, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't in that mindset to be.
Yeah. So you already answered your own question. You take the girls and you go approach other girls with the girls that you're with. That's always what I do in those type of social situations. At the end, you want to be this one dude talking with like 10 girls. That's what you want. And the girls like confused, like, how the fuck is this guy know so many girls? So again, whenever I have my birthday party and there's like 30 girls with me, more girls will come up to our table because they're always like wanting to know who this dude is. So because you didn't use it to your advantage, and it's fine because this is probably like one of the first times that you've done this. If you don't use this to your advantage, by the way, another thing, I'll say this again. If I go into a club with 35 girls and 4 or 5 of them want to slough off to some fucking rich guy's table, I take my credit card out and I charge it to the game because I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't fucking care. Remember, guys, in MOA, you guys can write it down in the chat. It's not my job. It's not my job. It is my job to protect them, but it's not my job to save them. One more time. With your female friends and your guy friends, it's your job to protect them. If some guy like came and shoved a girl I was with, we're gonna get to blows. It's my job to protect my female friends. It's not my job to save them. So if they want to go off and talk to other dudes, that's fine. You just need more girls with you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Especially in the beginning, DJ Rez, in the beginning, because there's two different things going on here. There's building a social circle, and then there's like whether or not you have sex with the girl. These are two, you guys need to put these in two completely different categories. For right now, they don't have anything to do with each other. They do eventually, obviously, one leads to the other. But for right now, all I want you to concern yourself with is how can I, on a regular basis, be in venues where it's 7 girls to every guy, or I create dance floor tables or dinner at some kind of comp dinner or some kind of house party or mansion party or whatever, where it's 7 girls to every guy. How do I do that? That's what I want you to do first. Now, at the end of the night, what happens is like, okay, Michael, I did that, blah, blah, blah. How do I have sex with a girl? Like if you're fucking going out with 7 girls at once, you'll never have to ask me that question. No dude who goes out with 7 girls on a regular basis asks me ever, how do I have sex with the girls? Because they know. If you ask me the question, that tells me you've never done it. You ready? Here's how you do it. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. They start acting like fucking macaques. Mm-hmm. They start acting like monkeys. Okay?
Got it. Okay. Cool. Can I just ask one question about Instagram and then I'll
sure.
So Instagram, you mentioned this a lot. This is the new way to be. This is the best way to be like online dating is Instagram. Can you give us an example of somebody whose Instagram is bad and somebody whose Instagram is good, and like just like your overall, Instagram perspective and how we should be doing things like that? Because when I meet girls outside, sometimes it's awkward because I'm like, okay, hey, let's exchange Instagrams. So then she gives me her phone and then I follow her and then she doesn't follow me back. So in that case, what do I do?
Yeah, so you should be doing that. You should be making content with her. Remember in MOA, we talk about the connector, the suggester, and the content creator. You should have made content with her and then tagged her in the content.
Mm-hmm.
That's in that way, then she sees you. It doesn't matter if she doesn't follow you. It doesn't matter if you guys actually have an open thread. You'll still see her content.
So
try it. If you guys don't believe me, message a girl you don't follow. And if you have an open thread with her and you don't follow her, watch. The next thing you'll see is her fucking last post. It's crazy how IG does that. It doesn't matter if they follow you. Do you understand the follow thing? You need to not worry about it as much. You're bringing up a great thing, so I'm going to do this. We're going to try this off my iPad. So I've never tried this before. You guys tell me if it's blurry or if this works. There it is. Cool. Stand by. And just did this 2 minutes ago. Should work. Almost. All right, I don't know why this is taking so long. Anyway, you guys can still hear me. Something weird happened. I got about 32,000 new followers on Instagram in the last 2 days, and I'm not even sure where that came from. But there's one thing I want to show you. So my account reaches about 2.2 million. accounts engaged 123,000, total followers 152. So I had 128,000 followers like 2 days ago. Now, here's the thing I wanted to show you though, going back to what you say. So let's go to, you're going to go to your professional dashboard and you're going to go down here to, where's it at? Accounts engaged. And when you scroll down to accounts engaged, we're going to look here at reels. So these are my reels and you can see my reels got 166,000 views. Now, do you see right there? What percentage of the people, engaging with my reels are followers? What does it say?
18.3K.
10%.
Oh, right.
Which means, and I know it says 47% is non-followers, but that's not actually true. Like it's a different number. It means about 90% of my engagement comes from people who don't follow me. Let me say this again. 90% of my engagement comes from people who don't follow me. So it's not that big of a deal whether or not she follows you. She probably will if you post better content. And the other thing I'll tell you is like, you need to post the clips that get her attention. Because if you don't, the clips that get her attention is the reason why she's going to follow you. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Activity. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Reels. Do you understand what I mean by make content with them? Does that make sense to you?
So does it mean like if we're at a karaoke bar, we're singing karaoke together, I tag her in that?
Yes.
That's what I actually did. I
did
that, but I didn't tag her.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, but why didn't you tag? Like, you're answering your own question. If you didn't tag her, that's your fault, right? That's why it didn't work.
I guess out of insecurity or something, I didn't tag her. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's got that whole insecurity thing. I mean, that's kind of got to stop. Okay, but I'm trying to find a good one for you here. Let's see here. Women like making content like this.
Men to be unattractive. The top 63% of right swipes for
like this kind of stuff. You see, these are clips that I make with the girls, and then I tag the girls in the clips. That's the reason. Like this right here. This is perfect. You see me with the girls behind me, and I make them, and then I send them, or I'll tag them in the video. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by make content, and then you don't have to worry about it. They're going to all end up following you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you grab. All right. Awesome. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the next question. Guys, you can't ask questions on direct on comments. I'm not going to be able to read them. Hold on. Actually, the only ones I'll read are super chats. Are there any super chats? Let me look real quick. There's no super chat yet. If you guys have a question, you have to ask it live on camera. Sorry, that's just kind of how we do things here, a little bit different. Deshaun, I think that's how you say it. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Deshaun Beckett.
What's going on, boss? How you
What's
doing?
happening? Good.
I just got into your content and I really like it, man. I'm learning a lot about like females and stuff, but I'm in a different country. I've been traveling around for a while and I'm trying to understand the whole social circle to the point of like, what am I doing throughout the time that I'm not? Do I still contact the girls or do I let them do their own things?
Great question. So for me, you just think about like loading bullets into like an AK-47 30-round clip. I'm always loading bullets in there. So for me, it's Babes in Toyland charity, Super Bowl party, Maxim party, FHM party, Teatro LA. And then it's so-and-so's birthday, Valentine's party, halfway to Halloween, bikini comp. I'm just loading bullets into the clip. Loading them in.
Sure.
Event after. I'm fucking 18 months out with events. Okay.
Sure.
And here's the crazy part. A lot of these events, I don't even go to them, but I'm still inviting people. I'm the guy who you use to get on every guest list. That's who I want you to become. You're asking me, what do I do in the interim? You post really good shit on social media, and you always have 3 cool things to invite them to. Another one for me, a big one for me is Access Vegas. I can't get enough girls to go on Access Vegas. I went and booked 3 weeks out, and I have like 22 girls booked for the next episode. Obviously, I can't have 22 girls on. We can only put 10 girls on the table. But like that's essentially what's going on. Oh, by the way, No Fugazi podcast, the guy who hosts No Fugazi, he's my guest on Thursday. So that's going to be really exciting. He's awesome. Actually, we're going to get some videos of his to react to. I think it's a great idea. Excited to see him. So that's the answer. So it's better content and so posting better content and the next event to invite them to.
Okay, perfect. And what branch were you in?
Air Force.
Marines.
Nice. Very cool. There's a lot of Marines. There's way more Marines than Air Force guys in this program. There's more Army guys than anyone, but then after that, there's a lot of Marines. There's a lot of Marine Corps pilots. There's 3 Marine Corps pilots. There's 3 F-18 pilots that have been in the last year.
Oh, wow. Thank you, boss. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Will, what's your question? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Will? Will Chu?
Hey, what's up, Michael?
Hey.
So, my question is specifically on how to kind of generate more, I guess, flirtation or chemistry. I was thinking back to when I would go on dates, and the response often was like there was no chemistry. So I was just thinking about
stop. Any of you guys who I made co-hosts, why is there no chemistry with Will? Go ahead and unmute yourselves. Will, we love you, so we're gonna just tell you the truth. Why is there no chemistry? Anybody? Who here's listening to Will right now? Just they're just dicks getting hard because he just so charismatic. Who? What? Huh?
Your tonality sucks, and you're not giving yourself permission to yell and use like in your voice.
It's that tonality of certainty.
Yeah, I don't even have to say it. The other guys know, Will. I don't know why I am not having any charisma or chemistry with these girls. Ready? This is me. Hey, we're going to the fucking party. You coming with us? Yeah, motherfucker, let's go. Will, you can't let yourself do that. And that's why. That wasn't even real, Will. I didn't even feel that. I just said it. Because I give myself permission because I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about me, dude. That's it. Chemistry? She don't want chemistry. She wants when women say chemistry, what they mean is their body was attracted to you because you showed confidence. That's why.
That makes sense.
You understand, Will?
Yeah.
We talked about you having an edge, Will. I don't know, Will. You might be a black belt in Kung Fu. I don't know. But you look like the first dude who's going to get punked in prison. Stop looking like that. Okay? There's an edge you need. And if you don't have that edge, then why would she let you put your penis inside of her? You don't look like you can protect her. You don't look like you can get shit done. Right?
Right.
Okay? That's why you're not getting, because Will, you're so comfortable to hang out with. I have no doubt whatsoever. Large groups of women love fucking hanging out with you. I have no doubt whatsoever. The problem, and so the female friends thing, I think you're going to have an advantage over other people. Okay, I think you're going to do really well with that. The problem that you're going to have is that because you don't know how to maintain, so it's a weird term to use with you because it's not actually accurate. The term I say is maintain masculine boundaries and maintain masculine frame. You still are masculine, but the thing is you're stoic, and your stoicism, Will, does not look like a serious stoicism that I like. Somebody I want, like you're stoic, and so is Wes Watson. But Wes Watson looks like he will fuck you up if you go talk to his girl. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
You still look stoic, like unaffected, which is cool. That's fine. But in that, are you maintaining a masculine boundary? Yes, technically you are. But what I need a little bit more edge to you. And the edge can come from muscles, haircut. The edge can come from you giving yourself permission to say fucking words.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
And then you'll notice when you do these things and you don't give a fuck, all of a sudden women create this magical fake chemistry that they're talking about. Oh, we just had chemistry. No, you just fucked a guy you thought was hot. It's chemistry. Chemistry's not a real thing. Okay? It's not real. It's a real thing in that it is a metaphor for a real thing, but it's not a real thing. Okay, people don't have energies. He has good energy or bad energy. That's a metaphor. That's not real. I hope you guys understand that. Don't let women drag you into that woo-woo bullshit, like astrology and numerology. Don't let them. There's no such thing as good energy or bad. It's not real. It's not real. None of that's real. I know sociopaths that have great fucking energy, super positive, all the kind. No, that's not how it works. There's no low vibrational energy. Humans do not emit beams and waves. I don't care what bogus hokum science fiction thing you saw from some backwards ass 3-letter or 4-letter fucking website. It's not true. Humans do not emit wavelengths. If you want to, I can prove it indefatigably. All you have to do is take 2 people, put them in a room, and have one person smile like this, and look at the other person, and then turn the lights off, and have the person who was smiling get really angry, and then have the second person be like, okay, what's that person feeling? And you know what you'll find out? They don't know shit, because energy, like feelings don't travel like that. They don't. It's fake. It's hokum. It's nonsense. So don't, like, just because women want to believe, by the way, you talking to women about energy? Yes, I agree. You talking to women about astrology? Go for it. I don't just do it. Do it. If women feel the necessity to believe in astrology, it sounds like a great conversation to have. But you as a man still need to know that it is complete bullshit. You understand? You guys remember we talked about logic and reason versus feelings? We were talking about in delayed gratification versus instant gratification. Astrology is instant gratification. Oh, I don't have to work. My life path is defined. That's instant gratification. I don't have to do anything, right? Like knowing that I'm just a fucking the descendant of hairless murder apes, and I'm just fortunate to be in this time period that I'm in right now. That's not very romantic, but it's very logical because it's true. You see the difference?
Yeah. So I'm gonna start experimenting with talking to women differently, like, you know, hey, what's up, motherfucker? Something like that.
Okay, you don't have to. Will, I don't believe you when you say that. I don't believe when you say that. I don't believe it. Like, what up, homie? Let's just say what up, homie. Don't say what up, motherfucker yet. You're not quite to motherfucker. You can't pull it off yet. You have to like be from the hood a little bit to say that and get away with it. So let's just wait a little bit before you say. I know you're from Baltimore. I know you know some, you know, Project Joe or Prospect Joe, whatever, out there in the wire. But what I need from you though is what I would really like to see, Will, is about 25 pounds of upper body muscle. That's what I'd like to see on you.
Okay.
And like a little, and then maybe even a beard. Like, Will, you just have everything going for you. Like you look like you got nice skin, you have a symmetrical face, whatever. I just feel like for you, looks maxing, I would look at what Alex Costa has to say, what FitX Fearless has to say, and what Adolfo Tex has to say as far as looks maxing. Okay?
Got it. Beautiful.
I love it.
Thank you.
Mark, what's your question?
Just grab my notes right here. I wanted to bring up something related to jobs that happened to me that I think is discrimination should be worked against. I was told I would be possibly hired at Target, but first I had to pass an interview run by AI. This interview compares eye movement and tone of voice to a quote unquote normal person, which I can't do. They said I could ask you an in-person interview, but what actually happened is that Target left me on read and didn't answer calls and emails. I have the same problem with more normal job assessments and resumes with AI, because even with expert help, I won't have the exact answers or keywords programs are looking for. So should I just start trying to walk into all places that have job openings and ignore the internet, etc.?
Yeah, the AI interview thing is actually we don't do AI interviews at MOA, but we do have a personality assessment where we compare you to other people. So it's not quite AI, but it is sort of automated. That's going to be a thing. And if you're saying that that's discrimination against you, Mark, I think you might have a case. I can't really see a hole in your case there. I think, for instance, if you have like before you have a disorder which causes your eye movement to be different than normal people, and they want to discriminate against you, even though you can do the job, that might be something I would look into. But I wouldn't be a victim. And if somebody doesn't want me to hire them, if someone doesn't want me to work for them, like I don't even have the energy to say fuck them. I don't even have the energy to do that. I'm just like, okay, cool. That's a decision that you've made, and it's a decision that I made. There's a lot of girls right now, a lot of girls that had an opportunity to go out with me the first couple of years I was living in Vegas, and they're looking back right now and they're like, damn, I should have taken that opportunity, because they don't have that opportunity anymore. I glowed up and they got too old. That's what happened. They're going to look back on it. And like, I look back on it, I don't regret it. They might, but I don't regret it because I just went and found other opportunities. Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I just keep swimming and keep applying and applying and applying to stuff. So,
Mark, I understand. Mark, do you feel that you have the acumen to take on an individual skill like copywriting, or an individual skill like maybe designing, like writing code?
I do have one that I'm interested in, but it's a kind of a niche skill. It's working with beer, serving with beer, becoming a beer sommelier. And I know I can do these things and memorize it and pass.
That'd be interesting. You being a sommelier for beer. Okay, that's an interesting job. Doesn't sound like a career to me, but that's an interesting job. What I would like, so this is what they did this before where there were these orchestras, and they kept hiring the same people to be in the orchestras. And these were classically trained, middle-aged or like, in their 20s and 30s, maybe 40-year-old white people to do these jobs. Then they finally started doing tryouts for the orchestras. I can't remember which orchestra. Was it Los Angeles or Philadelphia or whatever? They started doing it behind a sheet. They started doing the auditions, but you couldn't see the player. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of black women and black men started getting hired to be in the orchestra because that happened. Because we just have like normal prejudices that we have. But if you met someone who could write really good code, or someone who was an incredible editor, would you care what color they were? No. So don't use that. Like, don't give them the fucking excuse. If I ever felt that I was being discriminated against because of something that I couldn't control, I would immediately just be like, okay, I'm going to do something where you don't even know what I look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's their requirements that they're putting in my way of getting hired. So,
Mark, you're still an intelligent guy. I understand that you have a certain, a certain thing that's holding you back a little bit, but you're still an intelligent guy. I think you could still learn to code or copyright, and then none of this is a problem.
Yeah. I looked at that. I looked at getting license and that Ruby on Rails thing and so on.
Okay. I would, if you feel that they are discriminating against you, and I can't tell you that they are or they aren't, although it does sound like a really interesting civil case to me. If you feel like they are, then I would just not give them the opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. No, I mean, don't give them the opportunity by learning how to code, learning how to build funnels, learn how to, do whatever. We've had different VAs, virtual assistants, work for us at MOA. We don't even know what they look like.
Yeah.
Some of the time. Okay.
I see what you're saying, but don't give people the opportunity now. Go and find new skills already to do.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you're smart enough and young enough to still go out and find new skills. That's what I would do.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, brother. Miguel, what's your question?
What's up, Michael? Can you hear me?
Sure can.
All right. I was saying, you mentioned a face care, bougie face care. Somebody told you about. Because I'm trying to have like glowing skin. Because sometimes I break out.
Cool, Miguel. What's your family's ethnicity?
So I'm half Honduran and half African American, and a little bit of French and Native American.
Do this for me. I want you to look at Fit X Fearless and go over him specifically what his skincare routine is. Okay.
Yeah.
Fit X Fearless. Okay. He'll go over top 10 things for looks max. Look up anything Fit X Fearless with looks max. Okay. If you were Hispanic or Brazilian, I'd tell you I would go look up at Adolfo Tex, or I would go look, or maybe go look up at Alex Costa. Okay.
So since I'm half Honduran too, you would do both or just do Fit?
I would watch every goddamn looks for that maxing video you could get your hands on. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I could do that. All right. Thank you.
I love it, man. Great question. Varun, what's your question? Go to unmute yourself.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
You sure can.
Nice. Great to meet you, dude. So first time on here, actually recently discovered your content from New York. I'm actually in Aspen this weekend skiing, so ignore the weird Airbnb flowery back.
Varun, go ahead and unmute yourself one more time. Hold on. You guys got it. There we go. Varun, unmute yourself one more time.
How's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, so just two questions here. So one, new to the content, just found you actually a couple of weeks ago, so I was probably part of that Instagram uptick you saw. First question is, one, what keeps you motivated at this stage, right? You've had a ton of success.
Yeah.
You're all over the place, lots of women, money, all that stuff. What keeps you every day up, fired? Let's go.
I'm reading your next 5 moves by Patrick Bet-David, and he gets it. You know what's crazy is when I think of PBD, he's so much older and wiser than me, but I'm actually like 8 months older than PBD. We were both U.S. military officers. He was in the 101st Airborne in the Army. I don't know what he did exactly for them, but I was a KC-135 navigator. I see a lot of myself in him. Now, he's way more motivated. Like, he talks about, like, he has this, it's called hypomania. He has this manic ability to just totally focus on work and nothing else that I don't quite have because I'm more of a performer. Actually, no, PBD is a performer too, what I'm talking about. He does a show for as long as I do. as well as I do. But you know, I really admire him a lot. I've got to meet him several times. At some point, I plan on going on his show. I'd love to have him come on mine. But the thing with Patrick is that he talks about if you're an entrepreneur, he talks about intrapreneur and entrepreneur. This is a really great thing for a lot of you guys who want to start your own business. I think what you should do instead is start a business where you're compensated like an entrepreneur, but someone else does the administrative work, meaning like a sales associate or someone who like, hey, I'll take on this specific project. We have that right now. We hired a team that manage our social media and we pay them a percentage based on our growth. So like something like that, they're an entrepreneur, but they're an intrapreneur. They're working under us, but we compensate them like they're an entrepreneur. They have scalable growth, metrics that they can meet. That's one thing that I would recommend for you. But he said this thing that I really appreciated, which is if you're an entrepreneur, it can't be about the money initially. It can't. There has to be another purpose behind it. One guy asked Patrick Bet-David, they said, do you really love selling people insurance? And he goes, no, I don't love insurance. I've reframed it in my mind. I love people. I love people. And when he reframed it like that, then all of a sudden his job became his dream job in his mind. Does that make sense? For me, this is my dream job. Like I'm never tired of talking to you guys. I've answered 3 or 4 questions here today where I feel so much better that I feel like I know I put somebody on the right path. And I had a client today hit me up, and this guy lives in Bangalore, India. Let me say that again. He lives in Bangalore, India, and he said this is the best program he's ever taken in his life. And I got to be honest with you, when he told me he lived in Bangalore, India, I wasn't sure we were going to be able to provide for him. I wasn't. If this goddamn program works in Bangalore, India, where you can't throw any bikini competitions, it works anywhere. And so for me, because I know this works, that's why I'm so motivated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude, totally makes sense. I'm with you on Immersion, right? So I think in July, I'm going to Andy Elliott's collaboration with Patrick Bet-David in Scottsdale conference.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, just went to Andy Elliott's master closer in February. It was sick. So definitely recommend that. But the second question is
PBD is like a more refined version of like if I was not that interested in intersexual dynamics, I would be a lot closer to what he does, where I'm talking about interest rates and unemployment, political stuff.
Right.
But I'm way more interested in this. But what he does makes a lot of more people take him a lot more seriously than they take me because of the content that I go over. I love talking about interest rate. I used to work in finance for 10 years, but that's generally not the stuff that goes viral for me.
Yeah, PBD is about that business side of the thing, but I think you do more of the fun side of the stuff. So I guess
by the way,
so
was Sosnick. Hold on. So was Sosnick. So it was money, Sauce Money Talks. There was Valuetainment Money. And Sosnick he's changed it. It's called Saucecast now. He's changed it because he only talks about dating and red pill shit. He talks about manosphere shit. He's a manosphere dude, right? And so what's happened is, even though because PBD knows there's an audience for that, he has Sosnick handle all of that because it's super controversial, and
right.
PBD doesn't have to handle it because he's married with 4 kids. He doesn't have to be in that conversation.
Totally. Makes sense, right? It's kind of separated out to that area of focus. So just kind of going there then, I'm new to this stuff here, just found you maybe like 2 weeks ago. Can you just talk a little bit about what is Man of Action and, what are kind of like overall arching principles? What do you hope to gain out of it if you enter the program?
Okay, if you join Men of Action, the goal is for you to be the guy that everyone gets their job through, everyone meets their girlfriend through, everyone finds their sponsors through, everyone finds their employer or employee through, everyone finds their networking group through. You're the middle of this, you're the hub upon which all the spokes are connected in the wheel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you can't replace your girlfriend, your job, and your social circle in 15 minutes, you don't have enough abundance. And that's the level of abundance we try to teach you in this program. Massive levels of abundance. The most scalable technique we do to show you how to do it, number 1 is social media, and number 2 are these massive events, but that's not all what the program is. The concepts in the program are mainly leadership. That's my favorite one. Just so you guys know, for those of you who don't, when you take Men of Action, I'm sorry, I'm kind of snitching on myself. You're actually taking a leadership course. That's what you're doing. I know a lot of you guys, I want the bitches. How do I have a threesome? No, it's actually a leadership course. I'm teaching you a leadership course. I've tricked you by showing you a bunch of hot women, and I'm bringing you in to try to teach you how to be a fucking military officer. I'm teaching you how to be a man. That's what I'm trying to teach you how to do. So it's leadership, it's networking, okay? It's dating, right? And it's your ability to communicate. It's all those things. Plus, there's so many other things that you learn in the program when it comes to like efficiencies in your program. And then also, these are secondary things that we don't advertise in the program, but you get these in the program if you join. If you want to learn how to build your own brand or start a podcast, okay, then we'll help you with that also. If you want to learn how to build a funnel, if you need help with copywriting, these are extra things. We don't put this in our sales pitch, but it's because it's things that we gain expertise in, and we'll help you with those as well. Those are secondary. Those are not, the initial thing we're going to teach you is, how do you have an amazing social life? How are you incredible with health, wealth, and relationships? And you're the dude who shows up to every party with 70 girls. Make sense?
Nice. Yeah. No, that's sweet, man. And so the program timeline to what you were saying earlier is March to October. It's like an 8-month immersion. Is that right?
No, immersion is once a month, every month for 8 months.
Or so how long does the program last? Maybe I didn't understand that earlier.
Okay, Men of Action, you can buy 6 months or a year. You need to set up a call for that. Tristan is on here. One of the other guys can set you up. In Men of Action, depending on what package you get, there's an IRL thing we do called Immersion. There's 2 IRLs. One of them is called Social Media Bootcamp, and then the other one's called Immersion. The Social Media Bootcamp is where we actually take photos for you for your social media. And we have a guy doing it. We're probably going to hire the second guy as a photographer to help. This guy specializes in like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge photographs. And we're thinking about having him join the company. Okay. So that's nice. The Social Media Bootcamp. Then there's Immersion. Immersion is a week in Vegas where you go hard as shit. You do photos during the daytime, and at night you're out there fucking approaching at least 50 girls. You are grinding. And then in the afternoon, it's classroom, classroom, classroom. You will be fucking exhausted when you're done with Immersion. And then on the last day is graduation.
Sick. Love that.
Okay. We do 8 of those a year. Okay. And we do them around events. So if there's, for instance, if we have Babes in Toyland in Las Vegas, then we're going to do an immersion that week. If we have a bikini competition in Las Vegas, we're going to move immersion to that week. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. You see, nice, guys, Tab Buchanan put the link down there in the chat.
Cool. That's all I got, man. Thank you. Good to talk with you.
All right, man. I'm glad to talk to you, man. Hopefully we'll see more of you. Let's
Sounds
do it
good.
here. Let's go. The next question is, hey, you know what? Let's do this. We've already gone through our first hour, and I promised you I was going to give you 3 hacks. So here are the 3 hacks. Ready? I've gone over these previously. I will tell you right now that, so first off, the first one, legitimately, it was 2 billionaires, but it's not 2 billionaires I know. It's Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, and they have raved about the fucking Aura Ring. Everyone I've talked to about it, mine comes today. Everyone I've talked to about it says it's absolutely incredible. If there's some other wearable that you get that can measure your stress levels and check your ability for sleep, I highly recommend you guys invest in this. Everyone I've talked to. Now, the person who's actually sworn most by it, and you'll see him every day, he's got it on, and he never takes his fucking thing off, is Bilzerian. Bilzerian was the one who finally got me to buy it. But it's also, there's 2, if you read the testimonials from Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, they say it's like one of the greatest inventions ever. So guys, check out the Aura Ring. Okay. Measure stress levels, heart rate, whatever. If you have a girlfriend and you guys want to go on the fucking, what's the method called? I can't remember what it's called, but like you want to go the ovulation method where you basically, you only have sex with her. You have sex with her, unprotected sex with her only on days that she's not ovulating. The Aura Ring can actually measure when her ovulation is. It's fucking incredible, guys. Get your fucking girl off hormonal birth control. One more time. Get your fucking girl off hormonal birth control. Okay. The rhythm method. That's correct, Mark. So the Aura Ring is number 1. You know, personally, obviously there's way more than this. Zuckerberg, Bilzerian, and fucking Elon Musk. The second thing I'm going to tell you, and I've had him on here before, Tristan will tell you it's changed his life, and that is mouth tape. A lot of you guys, when you get older, you know, you get a little thicker in the neck and the head, you sleep, you snore, your mouth's open. If you guys have ever had, put a 1 in the chat. If you ever had slobber right here, you wake up and there's like slobber right here because you've been breathing through your mouth. And it tastes like you just ate ass. You've just been eating gravel. Put a 1 in the chat. That's ever happened. You got slobber on your mouth when you wake up and you're just, okay? Got it. Okay. Mouth tape. So hostage tape is my buddy, he owns hostage tape. So you guys can check out hostage tape if you want. But whatever you do, some kind of mouth tape that holds your mouth closed. I know some people use a CPAP mask. You can do that if you want. But if you want to go back, mouth tape is a fucking game changer. You will have better sleep and you'll be able to measure your sleep because your Aura Ring. And here's number 3. And this guy's a motherfucker. I wanted to believe this was bullshit so badly. Put it in the chat if you think you know what it is. I wanted so badly to believe this third one was bullshit. I thought this was woo-woo, fake-ass, fucking like placebo. Robert got it. It's fucking cold plunges. I thought this was the biggest load of horse shit. I was like, bitch, I'll just take a cold shower. No. Andrew Huberman has come out with the data on it. It's incredible. Guys, I'm 46. My hip is fucked up. My knee is fucked up. Not anymore. All the inflammation in my body. I cannot express to you how good I feel Every day I do 2 cold plunges a day, and all that swelling that happens all throughout your joints, any one of you who's over 35 who's listening to me, trust me on this. I do a cold plunge and it's unbelievable. Those of you, maybe you do jujitsu and like you're just like kind of fucked up and sore afterwards, get in this cold plunge for 2 or 3 minutes and it's unbelievable because not only does it cool you down, which slows down your heart, actually speeds up your heart rate, actually, because you're freezing. It's an adrenaline rush, but it triggers your body to not inflame. Normal inflammation just doesn't happen. This is why you see athletes get in those ice baths, but they get in the waist down. I get all the way up to my neck and I do it twice a day for 3 minutes. Cold plunge has just been night and day as far as like soreness. And the other thing I'll tell you is this. I'm really big on timing your caffeine. So most of you guys, I know some of you guys, you wake up and you'll drink like 5 cups of coffee. Don't do it. Obviously, after the second cup, your body's not even filtering your body's not even absorbing the caffeine anymore. What I would recommend you do instead is I have 1 serving of caffeine before my call. So today at 4 o'clock when I did this call, this would be my first serving. And then the other one would be when I lift. But when I wake up, the first thing I do is a cold plunge. And the cold plunge is a cup of coffee. If you guys have done the cold plunge, you know it's just a cup of coffee. You're like, fuck yes, let's go. And every time you do it, you come out of it feeling like you survived some shit. You feel like you accomplished something. Cannot express it enough. I'm addicted. I want to get back into it right now. The only downside I'll tell you is that you can't do it after you lift weights. You need about 8 hours after you lift weights before you do it again, because you need inflammation in your muscles after you tear your muscles down from lifting weights for protein synthesis, and you don't want to cool them off too much. But you can cold plunge an hour before you go lift. Make sense? And then yeah. Now, there's another one that I do. This is not like, I haven't heard everyone say this, but this one's worked out really well for me, is the intermittent fasting. Again, the people who are recommending intermittent fasting to me, I was like, you guys are a bunch of fucking woo-woo ass, fairy dust sniffing fucking weirdos. Intermittent fasting absolutely works. If you can get used to like waking up and waiting 6 hours before your first meal and then push all of your meals into like an 8 or 9 hour block and have all your insulin spikes in that small area, you're just going to burn so much fat. I mean, seriously, I went from 232 down to 202, just losing all fat from doing it. Okay. The cold plunge also, I'll tell you guys right now, it changes your white fat into brown fat. You're going to lose a lot of weight very quickly when you start doing a cold plunge. I've heard people lose 20 pounds because your body has to burn so many calories to keep up. Okay. Again, if I go do a cold plunge and I'm like, it's at 38 degrees, I'm going to be in there for 3 minutes. Now, obviously my core temperature is not going to drop down to 38 degrees because I'll be dead, but it'll drop down into like maybe my skin temperature will drop down maybe in the 70s or 60s. And when it does so, it has to catch back up to 98.6. That it burns so many calories doing that, burning all those calories to try to do it. So you'll notice the brown fats, which are actually up here around the shoulders or whatever, these are brown fats. You're going to lose a lot of this waist and belly fat from doing the cold plunge also. Nothing but incredible benefits. If you don't believe me, go listen to Andrew Huberman. You don't have to listen to the whole podcast. Listen to like 10 clips that Huberman does talking about cold plunges and the studies that they've done. They recommend 11 minutes per week of cold plunge and about 57 minutes per week of sauna. Haven't gotten into sauna yet. That's what I'm going to start doing next. We have a sauna here. Now, the next thing you guys are going to ask, a lot of you guys probably can get a hold of a sauna, and also a sauna you can do after you lift weights. But most of you guys can't get a hold of a cold plunge. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips if you're interested in doing this. Again, I don't make any money from this. I don't have an affiliate for this. If you want like the big, nice ones, like I don't know if you guys saw the one I went into in Blazarian's house. That one's $8,000. Don't recommend that. It's got a cover over it. It always stays down at around 34 degrees. It's cold as shit. You can put it outside. It's basically a fucking plaster case. But the problem is it's more like a coffin than a bathtub because you have to be able to lay down in it. So that's the expensive way to go about it. If you do that, if like say 4 of you guys want to split one of those things, I think it would be a great idea. And it doesn't cost a lot of energy because it stays cool because that's a cover over the top. The second option that you have is to go the less expensive route. You can pay $700 and you can get, it's less than 700, maybe 500. You get an inflatable barrel, and then it's got these tubes that go in and out of it, and you have to cover this up, and it takes about 1 hour per degree Fahrenheit. So for instance, when the water's 64 degrees, if you want to get it down to 34 degrees, you need 30 hours to get it down that cold. That one's it's just a tough. The problem with that one is obviously you can't drain the water out. It still works. I mean, it's still a good one, but like you want to change the water out every week or so, and it takes a while to cool all the water in there off. But that's the barrel method. It's really inexpensive. You actually sit in the barrel and you're kind of tucked up with your knees like this, and you get your shoulders in with the coldness, and then that one works really well. Has the same effects. And then the third method that I've seen. This is probably the best one. If you have a bathtub, most of you guys are men, you don't take baths. I know you don't. If you have a bathtub in your house, just do the barrel method, but just do it with your bathtub, and then you put a cover over your bathtub and just get that shit down into the 30 degrees and go in there and do cold plunge twice a day. Having a cold plunge in your bathtub like that is definitely the number one that I would recommend. Make sense? Cool. Go down, guys, one more time. If you have questions for me, go down to reactions at the bottom of Zoom, and then you're going to click raise hand, and then I'm going to call you. Pete Moskovich, what's your question?
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, let me turn on my camera.
Peter, you just muted yourself. That was weird. Okay, Pete, unmute yourself again.
There we go.
Okay, awesome. And what's your question?
Not so much a question, but sex.
Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. So we talked about it before. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys feel so insecure and they don't know what to do with women or girls because they never learned the skill of sex. So I was one of those guys.
Okay.
I was a nice guy. I'm an IT guy. I started making six figures when I was 24. I lived actually in US, but I moved out for various reasons. But anyways, when I studied and when I learned sex, my confidence level went through the roof.
Sure.
I always had physique. I always was. Actually, big kudos to you on how well read you are. Very big respect on that. But when I learned literally like step-by-step stuff, I was blown away because my confidence level went to another, just like immediately went to another level. And females started complimenting me on that. They started saying that you act differently. Even the females that knew me. And I think a lot of young men need to learn. Sadly, there's no schools, no classes.
Just Sterling Cooper. Just go to Sterling Cooper.
I know about Sterling, yeah, but he's recent, and there was until Sterling recently there was nothing.
Yeah,
and I think it's one of those things that is not being talked enough, and the gurus and the sex ed that are in the industry and in the media, they're clueless what they're talking about. Like literally.
I've noticed that.
So that's just one of those things because even so a lot of females, they do not want to have sex because men simply do not know how to do it, because sex is pleasure. People get the same hormones as when they do cocaine when they have sex and orgasms. So men just need to learn how to do it, and when they do, it's as simple as night and day, because it's regulated by female menstrual cycle, literally. And
okay, so that is definitely a part of it. I will tell you, you can have really good sex with a woman who doesn't feel comfortable with you and she won't have an orgasm. There's also women that you can have sex with who have no familiarity with you whatsoever and will have 14 orgasms. Women have a far greater variety of like sexual, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, experience, activity, ability than men do. I know some women who can only have one. Yeah. So that's the thing guys need to understand. I would recommend, if you guys are interested in this, go check out Sterling Cooper stuff. That's not something we cover in our program specifically, mostly because like for liability reasons, I don't get too far into that. But it is definitely something that's important to learn. I will tell you this though, if you get really good at sex and you're not really good at cold approach, or if you're not really good at social circle, if you're really not really good on social media, it won't matter that you're good at sex.
True. But as I said, I never had, because of my body, because of the work that I was doing, I was always outgoing. I never had a problem with that, but I did not know what to do once I attract and build a report and everything else. But the intimacy part, that's what I was missing. And I see it a lot, actually. And for me, it was the link that I was missing. But once I immersed into it, I can tell you that females can, as you said, even if she's not into you, if you know how to arouse her properly, you can give her up to 11 different orgasms.
Okay. Sounds good, man. All right. So if you guys are interested in that, go check out Sterling Cooper's stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. It's just like, the thing is, I used to be really into that. And then I just started seeing women who I would like make them have 14 orgasms and they would go back to their shitty ex who hits them. I'm just like, I think it's very important. I've seen everything. It's just not a one size fits all solution. Getting good at sex is important, but I think the one way for a man to get good at sex is just to have sex with a lot of women. So that's another thing that can happen. All right, guys, let's go to Benjamin. What's your question?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you see me?
Yeah, sure can.
Hey, what's going on, man? First of all, thank you for your service, bro.
Appreciate it.
Question is, so I get pretty much a lot of girls that stare at me at the gym and everything. I'm pretty fit. I take care of myself. I'm 35. I pretty much got my income set down to 6 digits for the most part. Now that I have a 15-year-old son that he's growing up, so I'm getting more time to myself. I fucking suck at maintaining conversation with women. Like I'll get phone numbers, I'll get DMs is a little bit different. I'm much better there since the social media is a little bit much more better. But cold approach, night approach, bro, what like advice do you give me, bro? Because I fucking suck, bro. I was raised as a beta. My dad was a beta. And I'm fucking rewired, and I'm trying to rewire that shit out.
Yeah, so that's what we go over in our immersion courses that we do March through October. Is for a week we kind of teach you how to do, again, cold approach to build a social circle. So there's a couple of things I would recommend. First off is treat them all the same, make them talk about themselves. So the best piece of advice I can give you is the way you approach when you talk to dudes. That's how I approach when I talk to girls. I don't change. Most guys, what they do is they go up and talk to girls and their voice gets higher. Hey guys, what's going on? Their voice gets higher. And my voice doesn't change. My method of speech doesn't change. My pacing doesn't change. None of that changes when I talk to women. The main reason why this works so well for me is because women are used to men giving them attention and validation and changing their behavior, which, by the way, changing your behavior is sort of validation for women. They get this validation, and the women did nothing to deserve the validation. They got the validation just because they had big boobies. I don't give validation to women unless they do something for me. Unless they do something to deserve it, I don't give them validation. I never like bikini pictures. I never leave heart eye emojis on anything. I just don't do it. And because I don't give women, I never give women validation or attention for non-contextualized photos of nudity. I just don't, or sexuality, ever. So that's the first thing. That's also a part of you maintaining your masculine boundaries. Second thing I would do is you can learn what we do is called the Snapchat Open. So there's 3 things you can do in Venue, which is the connector, the suggester, and the content creator. That's how I try to like bridge things to the next spot. So the connector is, hey, have you met so-and-so? So often I like to go to clubs with girls and introduce girls to more girls. The suggester, hey man, we should go eat at so-and-so. We should go to eat at Fo Kim Long, or we should go eat at Kaizen, or we should go eat at Herbs and Rye or Mas Por Favor right after we get out of here. Okay, so that's the suggester. And then there's the content creator. You saw the videos of me with the girls, and like I'm making videos, I'm posting the videos, and then I'm tagging those girls in the videos so that we connect on social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes, sir.
Okay, so those are a couple things. The other thing is going to be event invites and logistics. So the logistical questions is what I would ask any girl you go up talk to. Is like, who are you here with? First of all, I ask, are you from Vegas? But you might not be in Vegas. Where are you from? Like, who you here with is most important. Who you're here with, because that's going to be the obstacles or whatever. Who you here with? Where are you from? What are you doing tonight? And what are you doing tomorrow? Those are the 4 logistical questions that you should ask every single time. Okay? That's going to kind of like let you know how you want to play this.
You got it.
eliminates a lot of riffraff and bullshit. And those questions you can ask to anyone. And then the last one is inviting them to events. I'd walk right up to girls and be like, hey, just let you know, we're doing a $100,000 bikini competition over at Wet Republic. And I say it just like this. Hey, what's going on? Like I'm talking to a dude in prison. What up, man? We're going to do a $100,000 bikini competition at Wet Republic this summer. Would you like to do it? And the girl's like, yes. Okay. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Benjamin, so that's what I would tell you.
Gotcha, man. And last thing, man, did you ever get any kind of like your family disapproving of everything that you've been doing, like kind of moving at your own pace now? Because I've been getting that a lot now since I've been on this journey like 2 years.
Real quick, somebody asked about we're missing stuff for the boot camps and the immersions. Just hit up support at moamentoring.com and they'll have more details for you. What was the question again?
Yeah, man. So did you get any like a kind of pullback from your family of like from your changes? Because I'm moving in my own direction.
Sort of.
They see that they're like, I don't like that shit.
The reason why this isn't really relevant for me is because, I was 23 years old in 1999. I was 23 years old in 2000. So I was that time period for me had already ended and there was no social media and for another 5 years. I was 28 years old when social media came out. Right. And then I was in the military from 04 to 2011. So I wasn't really able, and there was no Instagram. So I wasn't really posting a ton on any of those places. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So as far as my parents, not really. My mom has made a few comments, but my dad passed away in 06. So there was no way for him to even look.
Okay. Gotcha, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Makes total sense. Thank you.
But by the way, going back to what you're saying, I don't think is this something that's you should worry about? The answer is no, you should not. So this is going to happen every time you level up. And what you're going to find, like what happened with my mom after a while, is she just sort of accepted that this is who I was. But you can't be under your parents' roof when you're doing this. Like you need to have your own level of independence. I was a U.S. military officer. I had made my own money. I didn't need my parents for anything. And so at that point, if they had a problem with what I was doing, I would have cordial conversation with them because I still love them, but I'm not going to change my behavior because of something that they believe or misinterpret more likely. Jay Shaw, what's your question?
Hey, Michael, how's it going? That's not my question, by the way. I just wanted to ask you, like, first of all, just to make it clear, like you're in a situation right now in life where you can literally live anywhere in the world that you want to live, right? Like, is that correct?
Yes.
What made you pick Vegas out of every other city in the United States? Like, why is Michael Sartain not living in Miami, or why is he not living in, let's say, LA? Why did he end up in Vegas? I'm just curious.
There's like a long answer and a short answer. The short answer is I like women who look like this and they live in Vegas. Like I just the answer is I like really small waist and really big boobs. And if you want to say really small waist and really big boobs, what city are we talking about? There's only one. It's not fucking Miami. It's not Scottsdale. It's Vegas. So the answer is what you see on the screen is why I moved here.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Just like the looks of the women alone then.
Yeah. I mean, because I could live anywhere. So why not live in a place where every girl looks like that?
Understood. And it's like, and would you, like, just out of curiosity, would you say, like, I guess LA and Miami, those kinds of women are like,
no, they're just harder. So great question. So there's a lot more of the like fluffy sort of skinny fat type of look in LA, not the athletic or big fake titty look that I like. So I'm not really interested in the LA look at all. Also the really hot girls in LA, you don't have access to them. I'm telling you, if you guys lived in LA, you know what I'm talking about. The really, really hot girls in LA, they're there. You just don't have any access to them. In Vegas, if you live here, I can take a group of 40 guys out with me to the hottest nightclub in the city, and the nightclub won't blink an eye and let you all in for free, and we'll be surrounded by hot girls. It's just, this city is just so much easier. There's no traffic. I was on stage watching Deadmau5 the other night, like literally like 4 feet from Deadmau5, watching it. There's a bunch of girls around. It was just incredible.
Okay.
It's just so much easier living here.
I see. And I'm assuming in LA, you don't have like the access to the hottest girls because they're always celebrities or something.
There were celebrities, and you also like, there's no like really cool thing you can do after the club closes where you guys can all like meet up and hang out. Also, if you're in the area where like the nightclubs are, or the nightlife scene is, For you to own a nice place that's near there is outrageous. We're talking 5K a month, more than that, maybe 10K a month. In Vegas, we're talking 2,500 a month to live on the Strip.
Yeah, it seems like Miami's kind of going the way of LA lately too, with like the rents just going crazy.
It is, yeah. The rents are going higher, but also like if I had a question, do I like the 800cc high profile breast implants or do I like the big old fat BBL? I like the breast implants better. I'm not a BBL guy, so that's why it's Vegas over Miami.
Got it. Thanks, man.
For sure. Joy, what's your question? Joy Woo.
Hey, Michael. Honor speaking to you. I've been taking a free MOA course very seriously. The 5 steps. I watched the video plenty of times. First step, fix your fucking Instagram. My Instagram sucks. Okay, so I've been taking photos a lot. My question is, I realized I have good enough social skills to get pictures with girls, and I have the ability to go viral and grow my following. Is it still worse for me to go to high status locations and scarce resource photos? Because I looked at your.
The answer is all of it. Yes. You should do all of it. You should do every single thing there is. Joey, you should make viral videos where you do man on the street or podcast videos or photo shoots. And then you should also have a video of you being followed by a drone while you're driving a Lamborghini through the Valley of Fire. All of it. Do all of it, Joy. Awesome. Relevancy, competency, access to scarce resources, and higher status. If it does one of those 4 things, fucking take a photo of it.
Awesome. My next question is, how come you don't have that many? So you have one photo that's you with a car, right? But the rest is podcast girls and mostly podcast and girls and events.
Yeah, it's just my business. So it's a couple things. Number 1, it's my business. And number 2, I have the ability, I mean, other than Dan, I have the ability to be around more hot girls more frequently and take more photos with them than anybody I know. So it's just like, if you got it, why not use it? It's almost like saying, you're Shaquille O'Neal, you're 7'1", 300. Why don't you shoot threes? And it's like, because I'm 7'1", 300. I'm just going to dunk the ball near the basket. It's like, it's just too, for me to make content like this is just too easy compared to other people. That's why, like, this is the main content I make. As far as the lifestyle stuff where I go driving around out in the country, it just, to me, I mean, occasionally I'll do photos like this, right? Borrow my buddy's helicopter. But, we'll do cool photos like this. But for the most part, like, the other thing is, like, I have a girlfriend. I'm not trying to build status this way. I'm trying to build status through the podcast. Does that make sense? But like, so this is the right here, what you see, this is the easiest kind of content for me to make.
So in theory, if I could get similar photos like this, obviously not as hot girls, could I just do that instead of taking a hotel?
You could definitely do that, but I would recommend this. If you have a job where they frown on you for being around a bunch of hot girls, what I recommend you do instead is take all the hot girl photos and videos and post them on story and then put them in a close friends list. Only close friends can see those. So any of you guys out there that are dealing with a custody battle or divorce, or you have a top secret government clearance, or you work for a law firm or a doctor's office where they, you can't be public and acting all crazy drinking, you put the pre-selection photos, meaning the girls with you and the videos and photos of you with girls, you put those in the close friends list. That's the only place you post them, so that normal people, like regular average Joes, don't get to see what's going on there. And then your grid is like very sanitary, sterile, high status photos. Taking a picture at the Grand Canyon is cool if you're a doctor or a porn star. That, like, stuff like that. Taking a picture with an animal rescue, that's a doctor or a porn star. Gotta make sense?
Got it. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
For sure. Pablo, what's your question?
Here. Well, I just saw yesterday, I think you're going to remember this, a video of you talking about a Dumbledorian party, where you mentioned that, well, it was awesome, very fun, but you mentioned that you saw Diplo, for example, you saw other celebrities just hanging around. My question is, based on that setting, for example, I mean, just the party is awesome. The people are just more open to meet you in general, I guess. But how do you, in your experience, how do you approach, like, meeting him, for example,
Dan? Oh, Dan I met through a friend of a friend. I was just doing some networking, and then we just have a ton in common.
I'm talking about Diplo, for example. Like,
oh, I didn't meet him. I don't really. Yeah, that's one of my weaknesses. If you want to know, guys, I don't ever try to meet DJs. Okay. I just don't have I don't have any way to help them. So like I really like I've never maybe it's my own like internal whatever, but like I don't ever really try to hang out with DJs.
Got it. It's, right.
Yeah. So I mean, good question. I just like I don't know Diplo. I've shook Skrillex's hand several times and Tiesto, but like I don't know them.
But if you wanted to meet, like, just like out of curiosity, let's say, I mean, I'm guessing, I mean, you must be so much better than me for this. I mean, I know a few ambassadors. I'm kind of connected in that sense, you know. But if you had do you approach a certain way? What do you, or do you just stay out
when
of
I'm at the Ignite parties?
Right, for example.
What are you asking specifically?
Like well-known celebrities, let's say.
Hey guys, so I try to like what it's called breaking rapport. I try to subvert expectations. I try to do something that they don't expect, or talk to them about something that they don't expect. So breaking rapport is generally the way that I do that. That's the most common way that I handle that. Make sense?
Right. Got it.
By the way, you guys see the videos that I'm making at this party? This is what I'm talking about. Like you make content like this and then you tag them in it. And you'll just see girls like come out of nowhere to try to get into your video.
Dude.
Yeah. Girls are like coming out of nowhere to like trying to get in my video.
Dude.
I brought 90 girls to this party.
Come on.
Yeah, anybody who believes that I'm exaggerating about 90, I mean 90. That's how many girls I brought to Bulzarian's party. Look at this. This is the party right here. Like Diplo and them were all out there.
Come on. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, if you guys like, if you guys want to learn this is what I teach. Like this is, for those of you, somebody was asking before, what is men of action? It's this. Like it's what you see on camera. Again, that you make content like this, and then girls like whenever I go to a party, like girls are like, I want to go hang out with Michael because I know he's going to be doing fun stuff. Make sense? Awesome. Yeah, the whole time I just made videos. The whole time I was there. There were so many great video like memories of that party that other people don't have because I did this.
Very cool.
Got it? Awesome. All right, man, let's keep it going. Let's go to Ben. Ben DeMario, what's your question?
Hi, can you hear me? Thanks. You know, obviously you go to a lot of events, parties. That's a big part of your program and how you build and expand and maintain your social network. How do you manage your, I guess, alcohol consumption? How are you pacing yourself? How are you approaching that so that, you know, one, you're not losing control of yourself, and two, it's you know, even just from a nutritional perspective, like, you know, you want to, I assume, minimize, you know, alcohol consumption.
Yeah, great question. I don't drink at all, ever, anything, ever. I consume zero alcohol ever. Does that make sense, or do you have a new question now? Did you mute yourself, man? Did he mute himself? Who was what? Dude, you guys don't mute yourselves right afterwards. Hold on. Who was it that was just talking, guys?
Hi, it's me. Sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, sorry, Ben.
Yeah,
I don't drink at all ever.
I did not know you were sober.
Yeah, almost all of us in the program are completely sober. Yeah.
Okay, and that obviously, and I guess just over time you've realized you don't need anything to take the edge off at all. And
I am so fierce.
Okay.
I am so ready to take over the motherfucking club when I go there. I don't need alcohol.
Excellent. You answered my question. That's a great answer.
Love it. All right, let's keep going here. And Joe Ali, what's your question?
No, if I lose you again, I appreciate talking to you. Going back to what you said about the pictures on the internet, I wouldn't go with that simply for the fact somebody might jump out the window and say some shit like Adam said, and then leave you like uncomfortable.
What do you mean? Are you talking about false allegations? What are you talking about?
So if you date a porn star and then somebody,
we're back on the porn star thing. I was so confused. Joe, I completely agree with you. I would not date a porn star. I don't want anyone looking at like my girl getting fucked by some dude. You're correct. I agree with you.
I mean, I'm not, no disrespect to anybody else. What I wanted to say,
almost no one in here would date a porn star. Yeah, it's not super common.
The stuff Michael was saying is you got to understand the science of it. If we was in high school and we was all in the gym and there was a bunch of girls in there, how would you behave and what would you say to him to go talk to a girl? That's the mindset y'all should be in. Instead of asking these questions you really know the answer to. Some of y'all need to change y'all appearance. And, you know, honestly, when dealing with women, they come with some emotional stuff. And you talking about sleeping with her. So you talking about sleeping with her. So you're talking about waking up with her and whatever that entails. So that means you might need extra blankets, towels, water, snacks. You can't just say, I want to sleep with this girl and then she poof and vanish after you bust in her or something like that's not gonna happen. So the stuff he's saying is you have to be prepared for it. And then some of y'all, if you really don't know what to do, I like race cars, so more than likely, if I was free, I would talk to the girls that's in the fast cars at the spot we're gonna meet up. Like it's momentum.
Okay, nice.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do, Joe.
They don't get like I get what you're saying. You need to. Well, no, I'm not gonna say what you need to do, but I think to understand what Michael's saying, the science of what you get into, good colors, clean cut, being handsome. You not just gonna get no girl dressed like a slough, looking puny and giving a fuck. Like I don't. He said it. Who cares? She talk to you. She don't talk to you. Who cares? Move forward. Like you know, it's really time to move up. Man up and step it up. And I wanted to say that before I get off because I had to make a run. But I'm fully in agreement with you. The next time we talk, I hope we get to share more. I appreciate your service too, Captain.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's do something. Let's have a little poll. Okay, I'm going to ask a question, and then you just put a number if you would do this. We're going to say, what would you be comfortable dating? Okay, and then somebody will clip this and then turn us into misogynists. Here we go. First one. Ready? Who here would date a girl who's an escort? So she fucks on like off camera, but like she brings money home to you. She keeps it completely separate. A 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd be comfortable dating an escort. Anybody? Okay, cool. Nobody. Cool. Number 1. Okay, Pablo will be comfortable with that. Okay, she's bringing money home, whatever. Got it. I understand what you're saying. All right. Number 2, would you be willing to date a woman who has sex with men who aren't you on her OnlyFans? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. You would be willing to have sex with, having to date? No. Go. Lots of no's here. Anybody put a 1? No. All right, cool. Put it in my pocket. Nice. Okay, cool. Right now. You'd be willing to date a girl who used to film OF content with other guys, but she doesn't film with other guys anymore. She's fine as shit. She doesn't film with other guys anymore, but she used to. Put a 2 in the chat if you would feel comfortable. She used to film with other dudes, but she doesn't. I would date them. Okay, so a couple of you guys are like, okay, you would do it. She used to fuck on camera, but she doesn't. Now, let's say she used to do studio porn, and she did OF stuff, but she stopped doing it. Would you date her? Put a 3 in the chat. That means studio porn. She did Brazzers. She fucked male porn stars. Put a 3 in the chat. You guys would fuck a girl like that, but she only did it. Okay, what I mean by like date her. Put a 3. Let's do this again. Put a 3 if you would take, like, want to be in a relationship. Like, people would know you guys are dating. Date, not long term. No, okay. Cool. Couple of you guys. All right, cool. All right. Next, who would be comfortable if all she did was girl on girl, nude, but no guys, and she did that on her OnlyFans? Would you date her, guys? Not just fuck. Would you date her? Put a 1 in the chat if you would date her. So girl on girl. Okay, so this is what I thought. This is kind of where I thought the line was. Okay, girl on girl. Especially if she does girl on girl, she's probably going to want you to have threesomes with her. So that's kind of the line I thought. Okay. And then if it was a situation where she just posed nude on her OnlyFans for like behind a paywall, and that's all she did, and no girl on girl, put a 4 in the chat. If you would date a girl, she poses topless, and she's super fine. She just poses topless. Okay, so you guys would be fine with that. A lot of you guys would be fine. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I thought the line was like between topless and girl on girl. That's what I kind of thought. And it seems like a lot of you guys feel comfortable with that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, for me, there's like, I'm not going to see someone who's like, there's videos of her fucking other dudes. I'm not interested in that. Cool. Is it interesting? Interesting. I was wondering where the line was. And for me, like, I have dated girls who did girl on girl porn before, and I had no problem. One of them was a former Penthouse pet, and she would only fuck girls on camera, and I was fine with that. All right, cool. I didn't really date her though. That isn't really a good way to say it. AJ Steele, what's your question?
Hear me okay?
Yep, sure can.
Okay. Just wanted to say everything's going amazing. Unfucked Instagram, pre-validation photos, changed the game. Ridiculous. Question was kind of relates to what you were just saying. Like, we kind of go with there is no good or bad girls. But when you're talking about dating somebody or them being the mother of your children, maybe you have different boundaries, qualifications, stuff you're okay with. Now, we're supposed to treat everyone the same. Is there any exceptions to that? Like, occasionally you get occasionally you might get a girl who hasn't been to the DJ booth, doesn't know every bouncer, is, let's just say, like, slightly uncorrupted, if you will. You know what I mean? She hasn't, your best buddy hasn't smashed, or you don't know anybody who's smashed. Is there any exception where you might not give them pedestalization, preferential treatment, but
it's okay. Yes, here's the exception. When they do something for you, AJ, she shows up at your house, like, hey, let's go out to dinner around 7:30, and she shows up at 7, and she's dressed really fucking nice, and she's excited to see you. Then you give her preferential treatment.
Okay.
My whole thing is this. I want you guys to consider this, right? As men, when we turn things sexual, it doesn't generate attraction. If a woman's already attracted to us, it will help us for sure. But if she's not attracted to us and we try to turn things sexual, you don't believe me? Have a homeless person walk up to a hot girl and he can turn things sexual and then watch the police show up. Turning things sexual does not generate attraction for women who aren't attracted to you. If they are attracted to you, then it does generate attraction. So to be safe and to actually generate more attraction, which of the two of us should be turning things sexual first? Her. If she wants to turn things sexual and she's like dragging me back to my room, that girl, I'm going to talk to her. Girl, you cook for me, clean for me, have sex with me, bring girls home. I'm buying you flowers. AJ, I'm taking them to dinner. I don't give a fuck. I will take care of you. But the problem is we give them that girlfriend status when they haven't done shit to earn it. You can still take care of your girl, but you need to know loyalty, pulling in the same direction with you, understand your lifestyle, brings you peace.
Yeah, just for example,
so that's the exception. That's the exception we're talking about. Those are the exceptions when girls are like.
Yeah, I was generally in line with that. Like right now, I'm in Buenos Aires for quite a while.
Yeah,
and the culture is different than the United States. And like the girls, when they go home, a lot of time they want you to accompany them home, like the whole way home. This girl never been into these clubs, never done drugs, nothing. And when I was like, tired and she wanted to go dance, she was like, hey, is it okay with you if I go dance with some of my friends on the dance floor? Like, I felt that was very like respectful as opposed to just jumping out, whatever. Second question would be, with the pre-validation photos, I've been noticing like girls adding me on IG and it working really well for me in my benefit. Jealousy, pre-selection, FOMO, dread, all in my favor. Now, I'm in the same boat as you in terms of I believe that men could be absolutely in love with their wife and go fuck another girl and not even remember her name. It's very difficult to explain that to what we would call girls that might be in the wife category, that have a certain set of morals, that have low body counts, that are family orientated. What is
they even know that's true, AJ. They even know it's true. They just don't want to hear you say it.
Oh no, I know that. Yeah. They what's the dipping your feet in, like the soft way of explaining, like, hey, I'm absolutely in love with you. These girls mean nothing to me, but occasionally your boy wants to get his beak wet sometimes, like, I don't really.
Yeah. I wouldn't
sometimes
be
that's
that
a deal breaker.
I would be like, hey, listen, I just want to let you know, like, I'm not interested in traditional monogamy. You would emotionally be the only woman that I would be with, but there would be other women that I would be with when I'm not with you. It's just, they're not going to get my excessive amounts of time or my resources. That would only be reserved for you. If you don't understand,
and you're very forward. That's what you teach us in the class. AJ, don't beat around the bush.
you're high status enough to where you would do that and you would be shocked at how many girls would be like, I would never do that, and then have sex with you right after. You'd be shocked. Do it as an experiment.
I'm gonna try. Okay.
You're gonna come back
thank you
on.
for
You're gonna come
answering the
back on the call.
questions.
You'll be like, you're right, man. I told the girl. He's like, yeah. So we either have to have threesomes, or I'm gonna see other women without you, and then the girl's gonna be like disgusted, and then stay at your place for a week. Watch.
One more comment.
Yeah.
People had asked, like, should you post with only one girl? Jordan came down to Tulum, and he shot some photos for me with a girl who'd done one of your events, and it went absolutely amazing. I shot a beautiful photo, me and her, like modeling looking photo. I'm looking jacked. She's looking hot.
Who's the girl?
Shannon Bass. She goes to your events and stuff. No, she's brunette. She's on my IG _AJ Steele. She went to Jamaica trip and stuff like that.
Okay,
but it
got
absolutely
it.
worked to my favor. It absolutely worked to my favorite. Tons of girls messaged me like photos of themselves, telling me I look hot, that this, that, and the other. Girls in the club that just took my IG, I catch them like peeking down like on the IG looking at this photo, and it's just me and one girl. So if the girl's hot, I think it absolutely, as you said, knocks it out of the park.
I had different opinions about this. My opinion was, don't take a picture with one girl because it gives the girl the wrong opinion, the wrong idea. But the reality is, taking a picture with one girl really does build attraction and comfort at the same time, because it makes you look attainable. Makes you look attainable.
And girls,
AJ, have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah,
AJ, if you ever said, I'm getting engaged, watch all these girls who just thought that you were a whore. All of a sudden now they're like, oh, he isn't a whore. Now I want my shot.
I like that. Yeah, no, I did what you said as well. When they go, who is this girl? Who are these girls? And I go, my friends. And like, yeah, your friends. And I send them the emoji that I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's like dynamite. Absolutely great. So appreciate everything. Are you going well? And thanks for answering the questions.
Yeah, I ask girls this sometimes. I'm like, are you upset at me because you think I hit on girls? Because I don't. You won't find me hitting on anyone. Or are you upset because girls hit on me? Because if you're upset because girls hit on me, there's nothing I can do to stop that. And then just watch how like her brain turns. Yeah. Last question.
All right, thank you.
Luke, what's your question? Luke Chase.
Yeah, what's up, Mike? I made a podcast clip and I wanted your thoughts on it. I changed it so the original podcast clip is me saying under promise and over deliver, and I talk about bringing out a bunch of girls. Now, my thought is, I don't want the brand to be I'm bringing out girls. I want it to be I'm bringing out value. So I cut out the part about the girls and just talked about it. I just DM'd you the first video and then the edited video. Can you pull it up right now so we can watch it, and then you can tell me what makes the most sense?
Send me a video.
That'd be helpful on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to bring value, under promise and over deliver. When I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring like 10 girls out. I showed up the night with 22 girls. What do you think his perception of me was after that? Wow, this guy can bring value. This guy wasn't fucking around. This guy is now like one of the guys that's like, yeah, I'm going to bring some girls out, and then brings like 2 water buffaloes out. It is clicky if you don't have value. If you do have value, bring that value and you'll get introduced to other people. People want to introduce someone that has value because it gives them status to introduce you to somebody else. Because you're bringing the person they're introducing you to into a win-win situation where they're winning because of the value that you bring. So always bring value and you will get into clicks easily. If you say do the second one. If you say you're going to bring value.
Say it again, Luke.
I cut some of that part out and made it shorter. So let me know what you think about the second one. If you say you're going to bring value, under promise and over deliver. People want to introduce someone that has value because it gives them status to introduce you to somebody else. Because you're bringing the person they're introducing you to into a win-win situation where they're winning because of the value that you bring. So always bring value and you will get into clicks easily.
Okay, so the reason why I like the first one better is because it has more context, but also you said the most important thing. I told the guy I was going to show up with 10 and I showed up with 22. You guys want to know what men of action is? Here it is. You hit up your favorite nightclub. You tell your host there that you're going to show up there with 6 girls, and you show up with 50 girls. That is men of action. You want to know what all men? That is what men of action is. You say you're going to show up with 6, and you show up with 50. Under promise, over deliver.
But I'm in Boston, I'm not in Vegas, and I'm keeping that in mind as to the past perceptions I've had about my personal brand. Do you think saying I brought this many girls, like it sounds like I'm a pimp? Like,
I wouldn't worry about it. I don't. Did you really think, like, dude? I'll be honest with you, Luke. I really thought that Lindsay Palos would never come on my podcast. I thought that because I talk about this red pill stuff and she's a bit of a feminist, that she would be upset with me. She wouldn't speak to me. That she was going to fucking hate the fact that any of the stuff this content that I created. And I saw her at the Maxim party the other day, and she was super happy to see me. And we made plans for her to come on my show. No one Luke. If you level up, no one takes shit personal. No one takes anything personal. Okay.
All right, cool. So I'll probably need to put the water buffalo out because that's like I'm gonna get some hate about the fat from the fat chicks, but I think I'll keep the other
I mean, good. Then they don't message you to go to the club. That's the point.
So you think I should keep the whole first clip? You think I should keep the whole first clip?
Yeah, I think you should keep the whole first clip. Yeah, I like the water buffalo thing.
All right.
The best marketing ploy I've ever seen is Drake talking about he likes the BBW. He likes big black women. Drake hasn't fucked a fat black woman in his whole life. Drake fucks like green-eyed French women. Drake does it, but he tells the thick black women that he's into them, so they'll buy his albums. Genius marketing ploy. If you guys think that Drake likes the BBW, you're crazy.
I'm kind of shit talking the water buffalo. Like, I'm kind of stuck in don't bring fat girls out. So it's going to exclude certain girls from wanting to come out with me, but it'll make it okay. All right. I'll just get the whole.
People will call you a douchebag and hotter girls will go out to the club with you. It's just a weird thing it's just the way the world works, dude. It makes no sense.
All righty. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Ty, what's your question, man?
We have 3 super chats on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Let me knock out these super chats. Number 1, good call on that. Let's go. First super chat on YouTube. Thank you to Sam SI. Do you change Bree's mind on Access Vegas? Can you have more feminists like that on your main pod? Can you expand the crying guy who got stood up? Okay, so the thing with Bree is that Bree, I don't really understand Bree's point. I'm going to go on her show, but I think Bree's point was that, like, you keep saying stuff and it makes me feel uncomfortable, so stop saying it. That kind of felt like that's what her point was. I didn't really see much more depth to it. She certainly didn't provide any numbers. So that's kind of where I was with that. As far as the video, if you guys want to check it out, go back and watch Access Vegas. We did a reaction to a video where this guy got stood up, and all the girls were just like, oh my God, it makes me feel so sad. I was like, okay, cool. Now, how many of you girls would fuck him now? And none of them raised their hand. And it was just a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A man choosing to be overly sensitive got the attention from women, and it let those women know he's a beta. And so they don't have to waste their time. They just know he's a beta. That's why, I'll say this before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it, and I don't care who tries to cancel me. The reason why women tell you to just be yourself is so they can pick out who the losers are quicker. That's why. It's safer for them if you say just be yourself. Now, I think you should be yourself to a certain extent, but you should always be improving and evolving and changing. So if that means that you lose your temper on a regular basis and that's being yourself, you need to change that. So don't be yourself. If being yourself means I need to sleep in super late, then change that. Don't be yourself. If being yourself means that you don't go to the gym, then stop being yourself. If being yourself means you have horrible habits when it comes to your language, when it comes to your pattern of communication, you're very passive aggressive, you act very codependent. There's a number of other things that are problematic. You're fucking narcissist, whatever. If you have those problems, don't be yourself. Improve. The answer is to improve. Okay. So that's why whenever I hear women, it's always women and really attractive men saying, just be yourself. And guys, you guys know I love Chris Williamson. I have the utmost respect for him. He came out finally this week on Joe Rogan and admitted that he was gay. Maybe other people knew, but he started talking about his husband. Chris Williamson's married to a man. And so, Chris Williamson is telling men to just be themselves. I mean, if that's the advice you want to take, then go for it. Then tell me how that works out for you. So that's the only thing I'm saying. The thing you guys need to understand is, I've said this before, if I give you really good advice with women, then women are going to hear this advice and it's going to sound toxic to them. Just like if I was listening to women give advice to other women about how to be really good with men, to me, it would sound toxic. Because this is something Dr. Buss talks about. Often in intersexual dynamics, as one gender gains power, the other gender loses power. Right? And that's so if you were to say, hey man, date a bunch of women, keep your options open, have tons of abundance, that's not helpful to any one woman to get you to settle down, is it? It's actually not good for her. So when you give good advice, if you give it good advice to men for dating or women for dating, the general public should hear that advice and be offended. Except when women warn other women about men, that's never offensive. When men warn other men about women, that's often offensive. Got it? Cool. That answer your question? All right, that was the first one. Second one is from Rural Man Life. Michael, what company do you recommend on managing business social media marketing? So it's tough to do this with. I would talk to Charmodel if for smaller ventures, and then if you want to go really big, I have some other recommendations for you. But I would start with Charmodel. Either she can help you, or she can find someone to help you. Look up Charmodel, CHARMODELLE, Charmodel. She's my social media manager. That's who I recommend. Then the last one is Altier Creed. Hypergamy confuses me. Aren't most attractive active women and the most attractive men dating and hooking up with each other? I've been confused why would a high value male let 1 through 6 on their boats? So I don't know which part of that confuses you, but like the men at the top have options with the women at the top, and the women at the top have options with the men at the top, but they can't get those men to settle down because those men have too many options, and men are more interested in casual sex than women are. So what happens is there's a constant flow of women trying to get with these men that they have no ability to get. There's this great video that Homath just came out with about this, where it's like a woman talks about settling, and she's not settling, but she's a 6 and she's supposed to date a man who's a 6. And so in her mind, it's settling, but it's not settling. She's actually matched up better with the 6 and would have a better relationship, but she can't settle because social media has warped her brain into thinking she deserves a 10. Make sense? Cool. So I hope that answered that question. Thank you for that super chat, Altier. And then why would they let 1 through 6s on their boats? Some guys like Bilzerian would not let a 1 through a 6 on their boat, but what might happen is Bilzerian might have a girl who has a huge following, and she might bring her gay best friend and her makeup artist on the boat. That could happen. For me, as far as charity events are concerned, even with the bikini competitions, I don't mind when unattractive women get in our bikini competition, because it just kind of like, I kind of feel like it helps them in a way. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? Like a lot of women have never dealt with like a critical understanding of where they stratify as far as their physical attractiveness. Like when I watched the bikini competitions, I knew the top girls were going to be Kayla Rocket, Ambry McKee. I knew it was going to be Masha Did. Like, he was very clear to me. I knew who was going to be winning these competitions. I knew that Kristen Strout. I knew who the girls were that would win. And then when Savannah Ruppel win it, she almost won. Like, it's very clear. I looked at the girls like, you will win. It was crazy to me how many girls were like obese and thinking that they were just as hot as Ambry McKee. That was the part that was crazy. And the bikini competition is like the first time anyone's ever like hit them with that reality. There's a very, very severe leveling effect in the first round of a bikini competition. And then the last round, when you see the girls who ended up winning, it's just like, that's the first time those girls have ever been rejected. And you guys want to know something that's terrible? I'm going to totally get canceled for this. You want to know the greatest place to go meet women is at the end of a bikini competition, the girls who didn't make the top 10. Go ask them out. They'll all say yes. They'll all say yes. All of them will say yes. All of them. It's so fucking terrible. It's so bad. Oh my God. It's so toxic. Oh, forget I said this. Delete this whole video. But it's true. Like, go try it. Well, the girls who don't make the top 10, go ask them out. Watch what happens. Canceled. All right, guys. Hey, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming on this call. I love doing these Monday calls. For those of you who are considering Men of Action, but you're not really sure if you want to do it yet, the main thing I'm going to tell you is, first off, join our free server. Don't I'll put it right here, back in the chat here. To everyone. Here we go. You guys see this right here? Join Men of Action Inner Circle, and then there's the Men of Action free. You can click that. Training resources, ask questions, learn the forum, find a tribe of brothers in your area. So there you go. There's go to Men of Action, or it's called school.com/Men of Action free. Join our free, it's totally free school server. The more you participate on there, the more things unlock. So if you post on a regular basis, you're going to unlock new. So for instance, I think at level 2, you unlock an Instagram audit. I think there's like different things that are unlocked the further you go in the program. The second thing I want to tell you guys is that if you're interested in doing this, Let me see if I can pull this up for you. If you guys are just interested in joining the course, again, if you guys want to come work for us, I'll tell you right now, it's the guys who join the advanced course. Those are the ones we hire to come work for us. Okay. Ty Buchanan, he works for us. Ty Buchanan has been the main course and he's been in the advanced course. Same thing with Luke Chase. They work for us because they were in the main course and then they joined the advanced course. If you are interested in that, or if you just wanted to say, fuck it, you want to join MOA, go to MOAmentoring.com right there. That's the main thing I want to point out. And there's one other thing I want to point out. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but there's a person or several people actually that make these really horrible videos about me. And every time they make videos about me, without exception, and I'll show you the receipts, every time they make bad videos about me, we get new clients in Men of Action. So if you're a person out there who's been making bad videos about me or considering it, let me highly encourage you to do so, okay? And then when you do that, I want you to hit that right there. It's MOAmentoring.com/affiliate. There's guys who've been making videos about me, trashing me, that I owe them money. They have made me so much business. Because here's what happens, guys. So for those of you who don't know, because in a MOA, we talk about it, we don't be about it. The guys who make the shitty videos about me, they're just talking about it. They don't have any like proof to back up anything they're saying, which is why they have to make videos. One gentleman in particular, he made a video about me where he was talking just all kinds of trash. And we probably in the first couple hours of that video coming out, got 10 new clients. And the reason why is what'll happen is they'll say horrible things about me and then I score 60. They talk shit and I score 60. They talk shit and I score, like Michael Jordan in the playoffs in 1986. They will talk shit about me and I will score 60 points on them. That's what happens. So anybody out there, if you guys are considering it, make videos trashing me. I'm totally in favor of it. It's helped my business so much and I really appreciate it. And guys, it's a huge lesson that I've learned recently. It's to like not react at all. And it's just been absolutely fantastic. We made so much money from doing that. Okay. So one more time. If you guys make videos, if you want to say mean things about me, I fully encourage it. Just make sure you take an affiliate link so that way I can get you paid. Okay? I can make sure you guys can get paid. Every time you guys make shitty videos about me, all you do is send people to my social media. They can compare my lifestyle versus other people's, and then more people join MOA. And that's all we really wanted in the first place. Okay? Beautiful, man. Awesome. Well, I'll see you guys soon. For those of you who end up joining MOA, set up a call tonight. You know, there's a bunch of you. Just set up a call. You're going to talk to one of the guys on our team. The success managers. And then after that, you guys will join the course. And then those of you who are in MOA, I'm going to see you in 24 hours. We're going to do our Tuesday call. And then on Thursday will be our advanced call. One last thing before we leave. Toyin has a question. One last thing before we leave. Any of you guys are in MOA, you can join alumni now. I keep getting this question. If you're interested in joining our more advanced alumni call on Thursdays, all you got to do is go to support@MOAmentoring.com. Support@MOAmentoring.com. If you guys are interested in doing the live-in program with me, we still have a few months left this upcoming year. You're going to talk to Tristan Darshan. He's on here. You can just message him on IG, message Tristan, or you can message Tristan in the school server. Tristan can set up the live-in program that I have where you live in my guest room for a month and we just go out and party. Okay, cool. Toyin, last question, brother. What's your question?
Hey, Mike. Good to see you. I know you said we need to be like the hub and spoke, and women need to get our job or clients, spouse through us. Now, do you have parameters on that? Like, would you only help women who came to, like a photo shoot or red carpet event and help them with their things, or would you help women that you haven't met yet, get them clients?
I help people with things all the time that I haven't met. I'm a big proponent of that. What I don't do is make it sexual. So for instance, I've had girls before hit me up. They've had questions about cold plunges or questions about their sales funnel or whatever, or they have questions about marketing their new business. It doesn't matter how physically attractive they are because I treat them like men. And if you're an entrepreneur and you have information, you want to help other people. People with abundance life mindset want to help other people. So I don't look at it as I'm helping a woman. I look at it as I'm helping a person. Does that make sense, Toyin?
Yes. So it just doesn't matter, like men or women.
Correct.
Okay.
That's
okay.
it.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Toyin, just one more thing. I want to point this out. Toyin, you're in MOA, right? You're in Men of Action?
Yes, I am.
And Toyin, were you able to throw events and have a fucking awesome time?
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. Yes, it's so much
fun.
Hold on,
wait, guys, hold on, listen, real quick, just so we're clear. I didn't call Toyin up here. Toyin, so you fucking crushed it when you were Men of Action. Is that correct?
Yes. I did.
Okay. Any of your skeptical fucking bullshit, just bring it. Bring it, motherfucker. Bring all of it. I will throw 200 testimonials at you. Okay. The program works. If you don't want to put in the work, that's on you. But don't ever fucking say the program doesn't work. And don't ever fucking say we pay girls to hang out with us, because we don't do that shit. Okay. I will talk to you guys soon. And for those of you who are in Men of Action, I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Okay. I'll do one last more. Steven, what's your question? My computer's about to die.
Oh, you're good. No, I was just going to say, so a couple of weeks ago when we talked about, I told you that Olivia Gray was in San Antonio. I shot the shit with her, and it was cool breaking a report, talking to her about her getting live taped by, I always want to say Joel, but yeah, she just talked about that and all that good stuff. It was cool just being able to bring like that element of conversation. I never updated you on that when I told her. I actually went to her bar and talked to her about that. But yeah, I mean, just along the lines of the program working, what was really funny was when she talked about the bikini competition, she did also mention, she was like, yeah, we all saw Masha and we're like, yeah, she's absolutely going to win it. So it's funny that you brought it up.
Some girls get it. Some girls don't get it. Some girls look at her and they're like I personally, Masha's not my type, but I look at her and I'm like, she's going to win this competition. Like some girls get it and some girls just don't get it. It's the girls who don't get it, who are like 47 pounds overweight, getting in a bikini competition. They kind of like the bikini competition kind of wakes them up because they think they're on the same level with these other girls. It's crazy.
Yeah. I just wanted to add a conversation, man. That was it. I'm looking to do alumni here in just a second. I got to do my graduation call, but looking forward to it.
I love it. Okay, guys, you don't have to wait for graduation in MOA. You can join alumni now. I hope to see you guys on Tuesday. Wednesday, one of my favorite interviews ever, guys. We have some travel hackers. These guys teach you how to use credit cards to fucking game the system for points, but also to build your credit and also to protect your business. It's not, they start off as travel hackers. They taught me so much. I'm getting 2 new credit cards right now. Basically just like quadruple points. I've already been flying for free this whole year, like listening to what some of these guys say. They're fucking incredible. Eli Pacenda and Tommy Lorengen, I think is how you say his name. They're coming on Wednesday. I think you guys really, especially if you own a business, how do you use these business cards in order to build your credit, all kinds of shit. You really need to be watching this, okay? I'll talk to you guys soon.